Anarchy is just the removal of hierarchy. You have a system free of hierarchy and you have anarchy, which is not chaos. So what you're trying to do is you need to establish a different model, not the constructive model, but the substantive model. You want to remove the contracts and you replace it with bonds. You want to remove status and establish the living soul. So, inherent power, not rights. It's about changing how you perceive the system you've got and the system you want. Understand the system you want for a start. You've got to understand the alternative to the shitty system we've got. Because if you don't understand the alternative, you can't implement it.
Do we have anarchy now?
Can we have anarchy now?
Do we have anarchy now?
Well, we have chaos and misery, but not anarchy. We have hierarchy, so we don't have anarchy.
Is a psychopath born psychopath?
Yeah.
A nurtured psychopath. So
No, they're born.
Are other psychopaths aware that others in their elite are psychopaths?
They can identify each other. I mean, it's been documented. They innately can recognise another psychopath. And plus, what they do is they test each other through rituals. That's why they have such perverse. The elite have such perverse rituals. You know, like homosexual activity and murders and various other things that they do. It's about identifying a psychopath, making sure they certainly are a psychopath before they trust them. It's basically, if you consider evolution, predator and prey, the ultimate evolution is for the predator to be identical to the prey. That's the ultimate evolution. That's what you've got here. You've got the ultimate evolved creature, which is man, and you've the ultimate predator, which is man, but not man. So you've got the soul and the unsouled, the dichotomy of the two. Everything's in dichotomy. So they should make up one in a 1,000, but they carefully watch their bloodlines, and it's estimated that it could be as high as 3 to 4% of the population, which is an enormous number of psychopaths. And it's very dangerous because they're non-productive. They don't create anything. They have no imaginative ability. They have also the reason that they can't function like we do with empathy is because they have no ability to put themselves in the future, put themselves in another person's shoes. They can't do it. And this is a part of imagination. What a soul is an imaginative force, a consciousness. You are imagination, they're not. So creativity, invention is from us. So they need us more than we don't need them at all. So it's about recognising the predator. And the only conspiracy that matters is the psychopaths and the rest of us. That's the only conspiracy that anybody should be interested in.
So ultimately, mankind's got to make a decision.
Well, living souls, not mankind. Living souls have got to decide whether they want the soulless to be involved in their community. And that's a choice, as you can identify.
The point I'm making is that ultimately the decision has got to be that we can't have psychopaths. So, again, what do we do with psychopaths?
Well, you can separate it out. I suspect it's been done in the past because you've got a real concentration of psychopaths from Georgia, which they're now called Jews. There's enormous numbers of psychopaths in the Jewish community, and they also watch bloodlines. Any group that watches bloodlines is really identifying itself as psychopaths. Because if they interbreed with a non-psychopath, they're not guaranteed to get a psychopath. And this is a problem for them.
So they are parasitic?
Yeah, parasitic ultimately. They have to be, because they have no imaginative ability.
So they're like vampires?
Yeah, you could equal them to a vampire.
You're distracted, you're overly entertained.
Well, it's bread and circus. That's one of the tricks. I mean, they've done it since the Roman times. Bread and circus.
Yeah.
You give them plenty of food and entertainment, and then you can do anything you want to the morons.
Yeah.
And because they treat us like cattle, the psychopaths. They know that if you give them bread and circus, 99% of them will just act like sheep. Sometimes it's aggressive. People can be aggressive. If you're confronting them with evidence that creates dissonance in the mind, that refutes their firmly held belief that this lie, all this lie really deeply. They've invested in this lie.
It threatens their world.
It threatens their entire world, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to do it very gently.
Yeah. A cricket bat or a baseball bat, yeah.
I'm not for.
I'm talking about the Azakazi Jews from Georgia. It's mainly those that are the Zionists as well. The other ones, the original, if you like, they're only a small fraction, maybe a few percent of the Jewish population. They're not the ones that are the problem. The ones that are the problem are the Georgian Jews, which were there must have been something concentrating that population at some point in history into Georgia, and there's been a real problem ever since. It's always the same game, which is to make people stop acting. So they want you to be inactive. That's why you get all these different reinventions. I mean, if you go back 100 years, the Vatican reinvented born-again Pentecostal evangelists. So they created a religion, a new religion, Pentecostal evangelists, and all people who were dissatisfied with that nonsense jumped into this nonsense. Because it's always attractive to a certain type of person. The type of person that could be a problem for their power. So then about 50 years ago, they invented, the Masons invented the New Age movement, where you get this calm nonsense and all these other nonsenses that you know, people believe in. So again, it's inaction. Calm is a form of inaction, like prayer. Prayer would work, neither does calm. So they go, well, don't worry about it, just pray, and all be good. This is religion. So then they say, no, don't worry about it, calm will get it. You don't have to worry about it, psychopath can do that, it's good. And then calm will get it later. That's how they work. So they constantly rebrand, recreate to make people inactive, to stop people from doing anything. So they say, oh, we've sorted it out, don't worry about it, it's all good now. That's the media does the same thing. The politicians do the same thing. Nothing changes, but they give a perception of change.
People generally seem to not be able to organise themselves very well.
That's because they're still, like I said in the talk, people are based in the child. The mind is, they're looking for a leader, they're looking for an authority figure, they're looking for a father figure. They're still babies. You have to do it yourself. They're very good at imitating emotion, apparently. But they must be very common if it's true that there's up to 4% of the population are psychopaths. It must be all the time. But they're very tricky to identify. A lot of them are very charismatic, like Obama. I mean, he's a clinical psychopath, without any doubt at all, but they're very personable. They naturally are. Because the predators, I mean, they have to attract the prey. So it's like the lure. But yeah, if someone's really charismatic, must be a bit, yeah. See, I'm not charismatic at all. See, the bigger the example, the more people will copy it. So eventually, it'll be self-evident. Their system is crap, you don't need it, and you can create a substantive system without any fictions at all. A fiction is a lie. Yeah. That's what the psychological system is based on. Lie upon lie. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe every lie they come up with.
Life sense.
Yeah. License, yeah. Well, it's like areas of study, physics, full of lies. I mean, they had the Zionist Einstein. Everything is ever a lie. They plagiarised lies. I mean, they haven't changed their understanding of physics since Einstein because they based it on lies. They never will. They'll never get anywhere with physics. They never advance. It was shooing along until Einstein. People were discovering and creating and finding things out all the time. Then Einstein, no. Since 1930, bugger all, apart from string theory, which is just a guess. I mean, they had the Jesuits came up with the Big Bang theory, utter rubbish. So they build upon these utter lies that are disproved constantly, and they have to invent other lies to cover the lies of the lies. It's like, you'd need 96% more matter to have Big Bang. I know, we'll have black holes. I know, we'll have dark energy. I know, we'll have invisible shit, you know, that you can't detect at all. It's just bullshit. And people swallow it. People accept these lies, and this is the problem. It's evidence. No evidence, no. Well, we can't detect them. They're black. It's dark. You know, it's such a shit. They do it all the time. You know, like the distance of stars. That's utter bollocks. I mean, they don't know the distance of stars at all. It's just made up. And people accept it as, oh, it's rock solid science. That's all true. That they're constantly lying. The Earth is expanding. People don't know the Earth is expanding. They're always pushing under shit that the geologists know, bollocks. The Earth's been expanding. It's 200% bigger than it was 200 million years ago. If you look at the shape of the land, it all locks back together as a single ball. And if you look at the equator, increases by 19 centimetres a year. Now it's an open energy system. They say, oh, it's gravity-based universe. It's not. It's an energy-based universe. Common sense dictates that. Everything is energy. Yeah. Oh, it's a gravity-based universe. It's all based on these black holes. Yeah. Yeah. And Tesla, he established that if you transmit energy across a distance, it increases in the amount of energy you've got. This is what he's, he built that tower. He was going to transmit energy because he knew that if you transmit energy, it increases. If you transmit it back again, it increases again. If you transmit it back again, it increases again. You get free energy. This is what the universe is doing. Vast amounts of energy is transferred to the universe, increasing. Because it's an open energy system. The sun is fed from the outside in. This is also Tesla. The sun, on the outside, is 20 million Celsius. On the inside, 6,000. It's impossible for it to be the other way around. It's impossible for the energy to be going out. The sun is 6,000 Celsius. It's almost cold. Yeah, the outside is 20 million Celsius. Now physicists say, oh, it's a nuclear reaction. That's the weirdest nuclear reaction I've ever seen. The inside is only 6,000 Celsius. It's a nuclear reaction, and it all goes straight outside. It doesn't make any sense. People accept it as if it's gospel. Because they're stupid. But that's the way we live in. People accept lies as the truth, and they don't question them.
Stupid. We've been made stupid.
Because you don't question. An authority said it, it's true.
Yeah.
It's been on the bleeding television, it's true. The news has said it, it's true. It's not true, it's lies.
It's in the paper.
It's in the paper. Someone's written a book about it. It's true. I've seen this video. It's all bollocks. Reason itself dictates it's not true. 20 million Celsius, 6,000. Not true. It's not a nuclear reaction. Common sense. Yes. It's an energy system coming in from the outside. How it works, it all works. What people should study is not the little tiny shitty things, but the principles. The principles of physics. The principles are very simple. For example, asymmetry. Like, for example, if you've got blackness and you create light, it'll return to blackness. Blackness won't become light all of a sudden. Or sound. If you have a big sound, it'll return to silence. Silence will all of a sudden become sound. Or return to sound. It only works one way around. Everything's asymmetry. So there's all these really simple logical rules. That's what they should teach at school. The simple underpinning logic of the universe as physics. Not, oh, this equation, that. Because people will just go, what are you talking about? What a shame. Because the other thing that Einstein did was, before Einstein, it was quaternion mathematics. This accounts for the order. So, for example, 3 plus 2 equals 5. In quaternion, the order matters. So 2 plus 3 equals 5 is not the same. And it isn't in the universe either. The order matters. Now in abstract mathematics, you can go in any fancy you want because nothing matters. It's abstract. It makes it so you can go all over the place with all your nonsense. It makes no sense and it has no basis in reality. And this is why nothing makes sense. And this is why when kids go to school learning physics, they go, I don't get any of that. Because it doesn't make sense. It's nonsense. It's bullshit. And they can innately tell it is. So this is why it's so important for people to start getting common sense, to start questioning, that don't make any sense. I'll give you another example, Mars, right? Now they say, oh, it's a weak atmosphere. Oh yes. So, bloody dead shut the bleeding rubber down because of high winds. Weak atmosphere, it's all crap. Now, the other thing is, it's covered in iron oxide. What creates iron oxide? Oxygen. The only way you can have oxygen, and you can look this up as well, is if you have life. And that's a fact. So how do you get iron oxide on a planet without life? There's vast plumes of of methane as well, and it's seasonal. It comes out at certain times of year. Now again, there's only going to be life. There's nothing else that's going to have seasonal, massive plumes of methane coming out into the atmosphere. So
the methane is really the big pointer of
yeah. So there's lots of pointers. There's lots of pointers of Mars having life. I mean, the other thing about the universe is it's got to be teeming with life. It's here, it's everywhere. Because there's nothing isolated in the universe. Everything, common sense dictates everything has to be, on a vast scale. Because it's based on infinity. And if something is from infinity, itself is infinite. That was always the rule. So I'm shooting off on physics now. I'm going to talk about physics, but anyway, is that it? Then? Any more questions? Good. I'm bored you all silly. There you go.
Thank you very much.